So as soon as we lose power from the utility, which comes down this line, the Generac senses that and it fires up the generator and it throws the transfer switch. So right now we do have 240 volts coming in from the utility, and I'll just show you with the voltmeter. It's actually coming down on these lines, and I can check here to here, and we got 243 volts. The generator, which is coming up on this red and black, should be 0 right now, and it is. So what I'll do is simulate a power outage by disconnecting the main utility. So here's, right now, we just lost power to the house. The Generac will take just a moment to sense that. We're going to fire up. Transfer switch is right here, and you just heard it. It transferred power. Now I'm receiving power up these two conductors, and they go behind to the load, which is the 4-aught cables, the big ones in the back, which curl around here and go down into the house. Now, after the power is restored, I can simulate the power being restored by reconnecting to the utility. Generac still runs for a few seconds, and it senses that it has power from utility. By the way, the meter's not spinning. And we just heard the click. Now the power's back on. And my meter's spinning again. Now I'm getting power from the utility. It'll take several seconds and the Generac will shut down. And I'll wait just a minute while it's okay, so it cooled down enough and it shut off, and now we're back to utility power all the way through. And I can take my voltmeter and check in this area, and I'll see that I got the voltage. Well, you can see the meter spinning, like I said, and I'll have my 240 going down into the house on the load side, which are these two large 4-aught cables. Now, a few things about the connections. So inside the meter, and I suppose I could pop this thing off and show you what I have done. So I terminated the cables that used to go into the house, and I put red tape on those. And the main utility power, which comes from my transformer, comes up to the top of the meter. To do the connections, I pulled the meter off. This was still hot on the top. I just stuffed a piece of cardboard in there temporarily to keep my tools away from the top of that. And I did my connections with SEU cable. I've got a 4-aught, 4-aught, 2-aught coming out of the bottom and coming into the transfer switch. It comes into the transfer switch up at the top, and this is my utility power. Now, going into the house, I've got SER cable, which is 4-aught, 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 2-aught. And that's this cable right here, which comes into the house to my service panel. And I've got a bonded neutral. This green wire bonds the neutral with ground. And I run 4 conductors into the house. So I've got neutral, ground, and this is the SER cable, and then the 2 hot legs going into the house. Now I also have a ground rod connection, so these 2-aught copper, not 2-aught, but number 2 copper, go down and connect into the ground rod down here. That's a permanent connection on the ground.